Thank you very much. In giving, we receive. In pardoning, we are pardoned. And in dying, we are born to eternal life.
Okay,
I will
sorry,
not
Prof.
comment.
Prof, maybe let's see your face before you start sharing.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that again. In giving, we receive. In pardoning, we are pardoned. And in dying, we are born to eternal life. I will not commence this presentation without recognizing our VC and our strong, able leaders of the university, the vice chancellor, the center leaders, the deans, directors, project officers, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and good afternoon in Nigeria. It's morning here in the United States. As a matter of fact, exactly 5:47 a.m. here. I count it a privilege to be invited to present this paper I'm going to take very soon. And like we saw yesterday, one grace I've enjoyed, or one thing about me, is that it's not theory we are going to teach today. It's something that I have put in practice and is working. And I want to believe as many who will also follow these principles that we are going to share. It's a form of eye opener. I know some of us have a form of investment or the other in preparation for our financial freedom after leadership. But this will be an addiction at the end of today. Let me go straight and share my screen. I have before me, as we can see, financial freedom after leadership, a guide to sustainable retirement. Opening verse. So what lies behind us and what lies before us are insignificant matters compared to what lies within us. If we borrow a leaf from the scripture, Bible says the Holy Spirit dwells in us. The kingdom of God is within us, irrespective of the challenges of the past or the possible challenges that is making people to be afraid of the future unknown, even as some of us prepare for retirement. But we carry within us somebody who knows the end from the beginning. That's the embodiment of the kingdom of God within us, for those of us who have really accepted him. So the presence of the one inside us and our own talent, gifts of God deposited, that's divine deposit in us, will not allow us to be afraid of tomorrow. Because in the finance balance, they will tell you in decision making, we have three conditions: decision making under conditions of risk, decision making under condition of certainty, and decision making under condition of uncertainty. When you marry this, especially with our current experience globally, I don't like peculiarizing a particular problem to our nation, Nigeria. When we talk of global inflation, it's not only in Nigeria or Africa, there is inflation, even in developed countries. But with knowledge, with wisdom, and with the divine deposit in us, whatever is coming, we can stand that. The outline: introduction, understanding financial freedom, transitioning from leadership to retirement, building a sustainable retirement plan, strategies for financial freedom, financial risks and mitigation, non-financial aspect of retirement with case studies, sustainable income and investment opportunities, action plans, resources and tools, conclusion, then closing verses. All these, God helping us within the time allotted, 40 minutes, I should be done with this. By way of introduction, if somebody asks me, how can I describe a leader? I will describe a leader in these words. A leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. That's leadership. By example, Some will tell you, do as I say and not as I do. And of course, when you know ahead, when you see ahead, and when you go ahead, you become the head indeed with head, not just by portfolio. Planning is very important for us to experience financial freedom after retirement. Here are the importance of planning for life after leadership. There is this popular saying, I've said that over and over, but very relevant, that a wise man prepares for four things when he has four things. He prepares for old age when he has youth. He prepares for sickness when he has health. He prepares for poverty when he has riches. And he prepares for death when he has life. Because the ultimate on the end of whatever achievement, death is this coming. But for those who are prepared for death, they will know there is still life after departing from this world. At least minimum, we prepare for four things. Now, the first important area we need to focus for life after retirement, that it ensures a smooth transition from active work life to retirement. We're talking of importance of planning. Number two, reduces financial stress and uncertainty. And the third one, provides clarity and direction for post-leadership goals and aspiration. I'm very sure, of course, we have professors among us. We even have some other people who are PhDs, have research into this particular area. And some of us don't need to even wait for a seminar like this to prepare. Key components of sustainable retirement. Number one, financial stability through effective savings and investment. Key components. Then we have health and wellness to enjoy the golden years. And the third one, purpose-driven activities that bring fulfillment and meaning. Then the objective of this paper is to equip leaders with tools and strategies for achieving financial independence and fulfillment in retirement. And I have concluded this slide with this quote. Say the best way to predict the future is to create it. Peter Drucker, one of the fathers of modern scientific management. And I put it in another way, the future we don't prepare for. When this future eventually arrives, we may not fit into it. So this is the time, because there is no time we say it's too late. If we have not done that before, it's not late. That is good for a leader, a visionary leader, to begin to have a mental picture of his or her desired future, and you begin to create it. You can create your future so that when that future eventually comes, you will fit into it perfectly. The next subheading is understanding financial freedom. Financial freedom, among other definitions, is the ability to live comfortably without reliance on active income. Now we are on salaries as either professors or academics or administrators. And I share this experience with us also precisely a couple of years ago. That should be 2020, 2021 now. I said, let me even take a step. Let me try and see if I can survive without my salaries from Nasarawa State University, Kefi, Nigeria, where I've been teaching by privilege for the past 20, 21 years. And I decided to apply for leave of absence for 1 year, travel for some trainings, some research in the United States. Of course, leave of absence, no salaries. And I enjoyed that 1 year of absence from university without salary. I said, let me extend another 1 year. So they approved it for me, 2 years leave of absence. After the second year, minimum times 6 of my salaries, I realized with the God-given deposit inside of me. And of course, network, because your network affects your net worth. The person you follow or who you follow affects what follows you. The company we keep affects our accomplishment. Because no nation is an island of itself with some network. I realized minimum times 5 of my salary. So after the expiration of that second year of leave of absence, I now ask a question: can I resign at this point? They say, no, you cannot resign. You have to put in back the 2 years you have been on leave of absence. And exactly 2 years after 2023, I tendered my resignation. And honestly, I've not retired because I'm still very young man. I've not retired, but the financial freedom, I really enjoy it. We are going to see some of the things I've been doing that has brought about this experience. Why it matters: reduces stress and ensures stability. And in reducing this stress and ensuring stability will mean it provides peace of mind, knowing expenses are covered. When there are problems and you know you already have the solution, why do you need to panic? No need to panic because you have invested in what will take care of the expenses. It avoids financial strain during unforeseen circumstances. Like we did mention, we have economists among us yesterday. I don't know if we also have economists seated this afternoon in Nigeria. That economy will tell you the reason you need to hold money or keep money or save money. We have speculative motive, we have precautionary motive, and we have transactionary motive. There are another reason financial freedom, very, very relevant, is it allows focus on personal interest and legacy building. There are some of us with great visions, with great ideas, but because we are still answerable to the authority in our various places of work, you may not have time, or we may not have time to really delve into that, our personal vision. Retirement is the period for us to fully take charge of that legacy we want to build. Again, say success without succession makes us a failure. If my success starts with me and ends with me alone, I can't claim to be successful. What legacy are we leaving behind? As leaders, we are going to see when we talk of legacy, it's not only in terms of maybe having properties, having building. We have this intellectual property as well. Those ideas that has added value to you, have you taken time to pencil them down in a book form, so that people who are not privileged to meet you in person will have your book and read about you and see what you have done in the face of challenges? And I say reduces stress, allows focus on personal interest and legacy building. Here we are saying enables engagement in meaningful activities, support leaving a lasting impact on family and community. And for us to enjoy this financial freedom, we have core pillars. Core pillars. Pillar number one is financial planning. There's this popular saying that he who fails to plan is planning to fail. In accounting, when you talk of planning and you now merge it with money, planning plus financial implication is budgeting. So under financial planning here, we are saying setting long-term and short-term goals. As leaders, you pencil down where I am presently. Where do I want to be in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years? That is what we are saying. You set your long-term goals and short-term goals. Then we say creating a budget and tracking expenses. Very, very important. Budget is important because wishes are not horses, beggars are not riding. That is, you have some fantastic and beautiful visions, but then you may not have all these resources to be able to actualize this vision. That's why it's important for us to have budget and to track what are the expenses that are necessary, what are the ones that are not necessary. Another core pillars in financial freedom is wealth management. Here we are saying diversify your investment to ensure consistent income. That we have different portfolio. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And concerning this investment, let me share this with us. When you pray for God's blessing, God, I need blessing, like I did many years ago. I have seen poverty. I have seen when you say a man who have experienced real poverty, I keep saying it, poverty even cost me something precious. And I remember then countless time Night vigil, prayers, continuous prayer, night vigil. Only one prayer point. Lord, I will pray one prayer point for hours. Lord, I need a breakthrough. Give me a breakthrough. I will keep praying. Just one prayer point. After praying for hours, I will sleep off in that particular place. I will mark as my prayer arena to hear what the Spirit is saying. And most of the time, after all this prayer, what I will just see, I will see a hand over to me books, both foreign books and locally produced books. When I wake up again, I will be angry. I say, I'm praying for breakthrough. These books they are giving unto me. It was later it had meaning to me that the maker, the invisible creator, who has proofs of visibility, what more than what accountants call tangible asset, is just showing me that your breakthrough lies in these books. And 2010, by the grace of God, the very first opportunity and privilege I had to come to the US, a professor saw my PhD work and I wrote on impact of ICT investment on the performance of Nigerian bank. And when that professor in US saw my work, my PhD work, he said somebody who can do this work should be able to write a textbook for the colleges in the US. Remember, my own degree, BSc accounting, not computer science. We have to diversify. And they paid all the expenses, all the bills. They lodged me 6 months in an hotel in US to do what? Write a book for college that's high school in the US. That's high school in the US. Anyway, after 6 months, I had to just leave. So I will go and continue the research in my country, no place like home. I just stay 6 weeks. That is, by the way, diversifying investment portfolio, protecting assets through insurance and smart planning. Then another core pillar is purpose-driven life. And in this purpose-driven life, living, we are saying identifying post-retirement passions and goals. What are your passions? What are your goals? There are three things expected also to happen to us in life. It's either you are running with a vision, going on a mission, or burning with a passion. So, what are you passionate about? What are those things you have desired you become that you are yet to have the opportunity to become it? Retirement may be another opportunity for you to fully follow those your passions. Then staying active in social, educational, or charitable pursuits. We are going to see this. When God blesses, He doesn't bless you only for yourself. So, what are the charitable pursuits you have? What are the social gathering you belong to? Because we need networking. I've said this before. There is always a golden fish carrying a golden coin that you and me need to get to the next level. So we should not avoid. That's why it says staying active in social, educational, or charitable pursuits. The next slide is transitioning from leadership to retirement. Of course, there will be a challenge. Some of us have a stereotype schedule. Like I said in my own university, minimum number of courses I take every semester, minimum seven, undergraduate, postgraduate, and the rest. I'm sure some of us who are lecturers or those of us who are center leaders who are also teaching, they even handle more than seven courses. Now, imagine now you live this daily routine, no more going to classes, no more active engagement. Now you say retirement. So adjusting to the loss of structured routine, that's what we are saying. How do we adjust? That should be the next thing that will come to mind. Some other person is even thinking they pay me 500,000, for example, or 400,000 when I put in this number of hours. Now that I'm not putting in the number of hours again, I'm not gonna get this 500,000 or more. It's a challenge. Then navigating identity shift and redefining purpose. Of course, you have to now change because your identity is changing from a full-time either staff of the university. I don't want to use the word lecturer because the people I'm talking to, the center leaders, deans, yeah, deans are also lecturers. Then managing financial changes to align with reduced income is if you allow it. to reduce. That's when it will reduce. But at this starting stage, your income definitely will reduce. Maybe the fixed income, like salaries we collect every month from the university, will no longer be there. You now live on pension. So that income, that's the fixed one, will automatically reduce. How do I cope? The opportunities, what are the opportunities? Expanding personal growth through hobbies and learning and pursuing long-held passions or interests. I've said this before. Passions. What are you passionate about? What are your interests? 1999, I found myself first in Abuja, my first time in Abuja, to work with UBA, United Bank for Africa, PLC, Area 3, Garki, Abuja. I worked in the internal control unit. At another point, I was the head of department of the unit. But what am I trying to pass across? Prior to this appointment in UBA PLC, I attended an interview with Standard Chartered Bank. Is it Standard Trust? Yeah, Standard Trust Bank in Lagos. About 470 of us sat for the interview in Kaduna. And out of the over 400 who sat for the aptitude test in Kaduna, I think 70 of us were selected. We were asked to go to Lagos for further interview. Getting to Lagos, we are expected to see the MD, then Tony Elumelu. And behold, before seeing Tony Elumelu, you have to get clearance from some young guys. I still remember their faces, about 4 or 5 of them. They sat. And when I gave them my CV, and they went through my CV, they look at it, they started reading, best graduating student in this, best this, all manner of things. At a point, I was even blaming myself. Why did I include all these award and merit in my CV? You know what these guys told me? He said, Mr. Adejola, with all this award and all this qualification, don't you think the best place for you to be is in the class to be teaching? Well, what are you doing in the bank? I was angry. Where would these guys be when me I'm looking for a job to put to put food on my table? So I now said, no, other people are there. I was arguing with them. You know what they told me? They did not stop. They said, if somebody like you is saying no to education, what will become of our education? I never knew that God was using these young guys to point me to what he has created me for in destiny. Anyway, at the end of the day, those guys have done they did not have further question. They just look at and said that they have formed their opinion. I saw Tony Elumelu. Tony Elumelu asked me to see another elderly person, which was the last stage of that interview. But getting back to Kaduna, I met the manager, one Malam Sule, one Mr. Isiaka. I met him. And as soon as he saw me, he said, Mr. Adejola, were you able to make it to Lagos? I said, yes, sir. Did you see the MD? I said, yes, sir. Did the MD ask you to see another elderly person? I said, yes, sir. He said, that is the last stage of this interview. But what happened? Your name is not among the people shortlisted. I felt like crying because nothing, no job, nothing. But then people who even graduated that we participated in that interview process with a second class lower, we are given the job. And it's one of the reasons also I tell people the blessings of God is not so much of a man's qualifications, but God's certification. Anyway, I another interview, I find myself in UBA, and where I'm going is this. God still pointing me to this passion and my area of interest and what He has created me for. I will be in the bank in the afternoon when others are busy sleeping. I will just notice one uncontrollable sleep will come. I'll close my eyes. And as soon as the physical eyes are closed, the spiritual ones are open. I will see myself in class teaching. So I couldn't fit in the bank. I had to resign. Just 1 year, I resigned. Let's leave that one for another day because it's a long one. I resigned without even getting another job because I was too sure that God will showing me this really meant business that I should go into teaching. And today we are going to see later when I'm showing us some practical things. Today we have a school, a secondary school called White Knight Academy in Buhari, Abuja, Nigeria, with over 400 students. That's my own personal school, education, because I decided to take the step because of this passion and interest. Strengthening family and community connection. I end this slide by saying retirement is not the end of the road. It is the beginning of the open highway. Next slide. Building a sustainable retirement plan. I'm conscious of our time. Key steps. Number one, set clear goals. I'm saying here, define your retirement vision and lifestyle aspirations. Number two, access financial resources. And here we are saying evaluate pensions, savings, and investment. Identify additional income streams if needed. Step three, budget for retirement. Prioritize expenses to differentiate essentials from luxuries. Invest wisely. They say build a diverse portfolio, balancing risk and income generation. Diversify. When I say diversification here, maybe from the experience of poverty I had, you know what I told God during that nasty, ugly experience? I told God, anything legal, I will do anything possible as long as it's legal to make this money. So sometimes as I'm doing a lot of work, now sometimes I will look, I say, oh boy, I will talk to myself. Are you sure you have not beaten more than you can chew? Somebody praying to God, Lord, bless me, bless me. When you pray to God for blessing, what God look at, what do you have in your hand? Those of us who are mathematicians, or we are all academia. 1 million multiplied by nothing is zero. God asks, what is in your hand? And if all we have in our hand is like salary, I'm not saying salary, of course, that's where I even started from. That means the only way you can be blessed beyond your salaries, maybe to manipulate some things or, but if you say, God, I want blessing, bless me. When you say what is in your hand, and God look at your hand and say, I have this in my hand. Another person say, what is in your hand? Already a big container. God will not bless you more than the container or the tools you have in your hand. And what are these tools? Why not go into consulting service? For example, register a company. Those of us who are professionals, this I did, as we are going to see later, 20 years ago. By the grace of God, White Knight Consulting, our consulting firm, in August will be exactly 20 years. And I started this when I was employed in Nasarawa State University, maybe a year after my employment. White Knight Consulting. So that's the channel through which other blessings will come. That's why we say diversification here and multiple streams of income. Then we say invest wisely, review and adjust. That's the key steps now. The last one, regularly update plan to reflect changing circumstances. And see what I'm ending this slide with. Do not save what is left after spending. They spend what is left after saving. All Warren Buffett is telling us is prioritize saving. If you have a budget, as that salary is coming, how much of this salary am I going to put in a savings account? Then the balance you spend, not that you go and spend. And my people from the Southwest, they will tell you salary mean we just see it. Sometime before this salary comes, it's already gone. How do we do? Because, of course, you and I know that lecturers are indeed underpaid, not only lecturers, even workers generally in our country. I give an example. When I was still with Nasarawa State University, of course, I don't know, maybe with our earn allowance, each month, I see over 500,000. I thought, yeah, this is the end of the world. Until also, when I got to the US here, one day I just decided to do some calculation. My wife here worked with the state government, and I did a kind of calculation, and I realized our salary is times 11 of what I earn as a professor. Strategies for financial freedom. Number one, start early. Number two, reduce debts. In reduction of debt, eliminate liabilities. And I said Nigerians are blessed. We are blessed as a nation when you come to this issue of reducing debt. This developed country, they believe even if you have your money, they still believe you have to use credit card. I shared with the attendees yesterday of a Nigeria here who went to a dealership store to buy a car. I think that car is an average of about $50,000. And after they concluded the negotiation, the guy said he want to pay at once. Within a twinkle of an eye, the next thing they saw, police already arrived there. That's you want to pay $50,000 to buy a car at once? The guy said, yes, it's my money. So they carry out their investigation and they allow him. Here is a country they discourage payment. They believe that you have to just build your credit card. And like myself also, when we purchased our home 2 years ago, of course, the initial payment I did, that our apartment cost about 280 something thousand dollars. So I did a downward payment of $80,000. Then monthly mortgage, they spread it, the bank finance the balance. Why am I sharing this with us? We have an advantage in our country, Nigeria, very great country, if only we leverage on the opportunities we have available. Nigeria, blessed with human and natural resources. You hear what Ellen Keller said, a blind and deaf woman, yet a graduate. The great tragedy in life is to have eyes but lack sight. That is eyes wide open, but we cannot see these opportunities. And I also put it this way, the great tragedy in life is not that a man dies, but what dies in a man while he lives. Going back to my own case here, after paying a down payment of $80,000, they spread the 200,000 plus financing for, is it 30 years? And every month I pay $1,606 as mortgage. Recently, I now have to check because I've done this without default for the past 2 years. Recently, I now check. Let me even review how much as my capital, that's the principal, how much is my outstanding principal. And when I check, ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe it, out of the $1,606 I pay monthly as mortgage, only $333 go into my principal. Out of it, 800 plus is to service the financing debt. But that is the life here. So some of us who are advantage position in our country without debt, we have better opportunity to really build the future and enjoy financial freedom after retirement. Remember, I've shared with us White Nile Academy, the school built 8 years ago in Buhari, Abuja. It's not in the US, it's in Nigeria there. And I said, over 400 students, you may be the next one to start something that will add value to humanity. Then we say maximize retirement accounts. That's another strategy. Generate passive income. Explore rental properties, dividends, or royalties. Then plan for inflation. Inflation is everywhere. And see this quote to end this slide here. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, hands it. He who doesn't, pays it. According to Albert. Compound interest. That's the advantage you gain when you invest, especially when your investment mature and you say both the principal and interest should be reinvested. Compounding. The next slide, financial risk and mitigation. Risk. What is risk? Variability in returns. To the financial manager, risk is the probability that the expected return will be different from the actual return. Risk means different things to different people. To a prophet, risk is the probability that the prophecy he has made will not come to pass. That's a lot of definition. But then, even as technical as risk is, then Sindaus of blessed memory said, life is all about risk, and it is risky not to take a risk. So when we talk of risk here, we are saying exposure to market volatility and economic fluctuations. We're talking of rising healthcare and living expenses. Then the possibility of outliving financial resources, all you have even gathered. How sure are we that it's going to be sufficient to take care of you or take care of your expenses after retirement? Mitigation, how do we guide against all this risk? Build a sustainable emergency fund for unforeseen needs. Invest in health insurance and long-term care plans. Conduct regular financial reviews and adapt strategies as needed. And I conclude this slide by saying, in investing, what is comfortable is rarely profitable. Somebody have 5 million naira, another person have 20 million naira. The person with 10 million say, out of this 10 million, I'm not sure if I invest, I'm going to get my returns. Let me only invest 1 million naira. And the person with 20 million said, let me just take risk. I'm investing everything. We are going to see shortly some investment tested and trusted where you can put your money and you are assured of interest. It's something I've done, and we are going to see as I share the dashboard of this investment institution or financial institution. You will see the returns. Non-financial aspects of retirement. We have health and wellness, engage in regular physical activity to maintain fitness. Now, man is a tripartite being. They will tell you man is essentially a spirit, having a soul, living in a body. So even God Almighty is interested in our well-being, because you need that your physical body to be able to execute the assignment you have been given or to accomplish your own vision. So we should exercise regularly. And I share my own, what I do, 45 minutes daily walk. I call it prayer walk, not running. I don't jog. I will just walk around our estates, and I've timed myself. It takes about 45 minutes to do that. Sometimes I'm walking, I'm praising him, I'm thanking him, or prayers. Prioritize mental health through relaxation and mindfulness practices. Then social connections, foster relationship with family, friends, and community networks. Participate in social groups or volunteer activities. Then legacy projects, contribute to society through mentorship or charitable work. Document personal experiences and achievements for future generations. For future generation. Don't let your wealth of experience just end with you alone. Document some of these that others will be able to see. Then lifelong learning, pursue educational opportunity to stay mentally stimulated. January 19, 2023, when I came into the United States. Before then, I've been on B1, B2 visa. And within the past 10 years, by the grace of God, I've traveled in and out of the US 64 times. So January 19, when I was coming, I just made up my mind. I'm not going back to Nigeria until my status change. I know it's going to be a long stay. Until I now pray about April, that should be April 2023 now. And I asked Holy Spirit, do you really want me to stay in the US? I want to apply for green card. What are you saying? And I heard the voice of the Spirit of God. He told me approval will be faster than expected. So with that one, I started announcing it. He has spoken this. In less than 1 year, I was given that approval. I was given the green card. But then I'm sharing this with us that what happened to the about 10 months while waiting for green card? I had to go into research. And during this research, I've discovered minimum 24 AI tools. And as I'm talking to you, so in learning is a continuous process. I want to start filing tax for people in the US. That's part of what I want to start doing now, to add to what I already have on ground. And also bookkeeping, to prepare books for organizations and individuals. And to be able to do that, I need to go for certification. So now I'm about to register for a master's, another master online for 8 months, so that I'll get the relevant certification. When I say learning is a continuous process. And I conclude here, we say retirement is not the end of your life, it's the beginning of your legacy. Case studies, as we conclude, coming to conclusion, we have 2 case studies here. One is for a retired academic's journey to financial freedom, and the second case study is for a former administrator's transition into retirement. See the case study here in summary. Professor Adewale, a retired academic from Nigeria, served for 35 years as a professor of economics at a prestigious Nigerian university. Upon retirement, faced financial uncertainties despite receiving government pension. Strategies used: consulting services, real estate investment, publishing and speaking engagement, stock market investment. Outcome: Professor Adewale achieved financial independence within 3 years of retirement. His diversified income streams not only secured his financial future, but also allowed him to fund scholarship for underprivileged students, leaving a lasting legacy. It's all about leaving lasting legacy. By divine grace and election again, I realized that in Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, that should even be like 1999, 2000. 1999 or year 2000, 2001. I noticed that they have past questions. Students have been writing examination, but God did not give any lecturer in the college in Jos the idea to go and gather past question papers. By the privilege given to me by God, I was the one who collected all the past question papers of Anan, and I sat down, solved them, so as to help the incoming students who want to pass through the postgraduate college and become professional accountant. I took, and that was the first financial breakthrough that we experienced millions as at that period. Then I had another privilege again. These are things I do. I had another privilege again that I was the accountant among the presidential visitation panel in 2010 to go and investigate the capital allocation given to our federal universities. And then I met this VC there, Professor Tenibe of National Open University. Summary is that after the exercise, the VC called me, said, Dr. Adejola, let me see the list of all the books you have published. We want you to supply it to all our centers across the nation. And these are in millions of naira. It is not just getting these millions that really matters. What do we do with it? So we have to invest wisely. We are going to see case study 2, background. Mr. James Edward, a retired university administrator from the United Kingdom, managed academic programs and administrative services for over 25 years. Retirement brought both excitement and the challenge of redefining his purpose. Strategies used: education consultancy. Can you see that? Volunteer work, investment in technology startups, writing and public speaking. And what's the outcome of all this? Mr. Edward built a fulfilling post-retirement life, balancing financial security with meaningful engagement in education. His consultancy and investment generated significant income, while his volunteer and writing activities allowed him to continue contributing to his field and society. And here is the quote to end this case study. Knowledge compounded with strategic investment turns retirement into financial freedom. So we have the knowledge already, having spent how many years in the university. When we now support it with investment, then financial freedom is inevitable. Sustainable income and investment opportunity. I'll go through this one quick. Types of sustainable income: we have fixed income, pensions, annuities. Then we have variable income, investment, rental income. Then we have passive income, say royalties and dividends. Investment options. What are the investment options open to me now that I have some few millions? Some people who came for our conference in US last year had opened their eyes to see this investment opportunity. And out of the attendees, minimum 4 of them have followed up in Nigeria. And today, they have invested in this AXA Mansard I'm going to show us later, as little as 5 million naira. Because sometimes this investment pay 26%. Put your money in our commercial banks. They will even charge you for keeping your money for you. But when you fix, you are sure of income. So low risk option, we have bonds, we have treasury bills, real estate. potential properties, real estate investment trust. Then we have the diversified fund, mutual funds, exchange traded funds. Let's go to the main practical now. We have a table here. Please, let's pay attention here. This is one of the investments that I've said tested and trusted. AXA Mansard is a finance house or financial institution. They have office in Nigeria, they have an office in Lagos, and they are also in 50 or more countries. So it's not just Nigerian based. Before committing my money into the investment option of AXA Mansard, I've done my own findings. I've seen their asset base, I've seen their capitalization, and I've seen various branches. Currently, they offer 22% per annum. And one good thing about this money market of this AXA Mansard is that it's flexible. If you fix in your money in the money market and necessitate that you want to liquidate part of the principal, they will give it to you. Is the balance now that they will calculate the interest. The interest will calculate it based on the balance you have there. So at any point in time, you need part of your money is flexible. They allow you to take what you want to take. Then we have the fixed deposits opportunities still in the same AXA Mansard. And as of today, see it, if you want to fix between 5 million to 10 million, see the interest rate, huge, 20.65%, 11 million to 99 million, 22.9%, 100 million to 500 million, 23.35%, above 500 million, 23.80%. Even to our university, maybe we are looking at multiple streams of income for the university. If you fix 500 million, let me say 100 million now, or even 500 million, university have, and you decide to say, I want to fix 500 million and I want the interest up front. Calculate 23.8% of 500 million. Collect that interest, use it for whatever you want to use it for, then you wait till maturity, then you collect the principal. Nigerian Treasury bills, risk-free, because this is directly issued by the federal government through the Central Bank of Nigeria. And for the Nigerian Treasury bill, as at late last year, see the opportunities we have to invest. 363 days, 26.1%, that much. They pay that much. And for these treasury bills, you can also say, pay me my interest upfront. Then you wait on maturity before you access your principal. We have 349 days, see the rate there, 335 days, see the rate. And I conclude here by saying wealth is built not by timing the market, but by the time in the market. How long are you committing your funds in the market? Action plan, step 1, conduct a personal financial audit to evaluate current resources you have. 2, seek professional advice to create a personalized strategy. Step 3, develop a retirement plan encompassing financial and lifestyle goals. Step 4, implement the plan with clear milestones and deadlines. 5, regularly review progress and adjust to changes in circumstances. And I said here, a goal without a plan is just a wish. What are the resources we need and tools? Books. That one written by the privileged me, Discovering Entrepreneurial Opportunities. Then another one, Your Money or Your Life by Vicky Robin. We have applications that can help us in budget, in tracking our expenses. Time will not permit us to do a practical demonstration, but these are real applications, AI-based budgeting to see. One is called Mint. The other one is NAB for financial tracking. We have investment platforms such as Robinhood or Wealthfront. Professional guidance, say engage financial planners or retirement consultants. And we say here, knowledge is power. But applying it is wisdom, which guarantee success. As I close, let me just share. In management information system, we have what is called open system and closed system. A closed system is the person whose prayer is me and me alone. Even when they pray, their prayer point, Lord, bless me alone, bless me, bless me. They are an open system. We want to be a source of blessing to others. That's why by the grace of God, I'm sharing some of the things I'm doing to get the result I'm getting. Very open. So an open system, a system that connect with the society, collect input, process it, and passes to the society. Now, if you look at this very quick, White Knight Consulting, I just do a screenshot of our website. This is White Knight Consulting, August this year, 20 years. I registered this consulting outfit, CAC, Abuja, Nigeria. And with this same consulting firm, I told us earlier, you are praying to God for a breakthrough. God will look, what do you have in your hand? And when I pray my own prayer, what do you have in your hand? I say, Daddy, I have White Knight Consulting. And honestly, with every humility, not to boast about anything here, like this is reality. With this White Knight Consulting, we have executed a contract valued at 1 point something billion for Kaduna State government. That's forensic laboratory project. And how did we get to this? I was in the class teaching my student forensic crime and abuse, something, a forensic course given to me, our MSc class. Unknown to me that an army general was in that class. And the way I do my own teaching, even as at the time I was taking a particular topic in that forensic class, I have not physically accessed any forensic machine or any forensic equipment, but I've done my research and I created a mental picture to my student that all they are even waiting for is once they see the machine, I've given them the description, how they're going to use it, that once they see, they even know what to do. And with this understanding, this army general was with the state governor, and he said, we are looking for a consultant that will help us develop a forensic laboratory for the state government. And that my student told the governor, I know one professor who can handle it. That's why he recommended me. And I was invited to Kaduna State Government House. I went there prepared with my projector because behind every public manifestation is a secret preparation. I got there, they said they don't have provision for projector. I did my presentation, the remaining history. This project has been commissioned, is it last year, by the new governor. We have also here White Knight Professionals. Here is our audit firm. We audit, see here, audit and assurance services, tax consulting, financial advisory services, forensic accounting and investigation, and the rest. Then we have the building here, White Knight Academy. This school built 8 years ago in Buhari, Abuja, Nigeria, currently with over 400 students. But when we say building legacies, charitable activities, this school is more or less like giving back to the society. Some people still find it difficult to believe that till date, the school fees we charge here is still 17,000 naira. And the bus is free bus service. That's one way to give back to the society. Don't let me say much about that. Then we have Association of Chartered Certified System Accountants. We have understudied that some of Africans who find themselves in developed countries are unemployable. There is a gap in the digital divide, both in teaching and practice of accounting. And this idea, I sold it to a professor here. And today we have this Association of Chartered Certified System Accountants, bridging the digital divide in the teaching and practice of accounting and related field. And here is an area ACCSU Global can collaborate with your university as well, so that the students from your university will also be able to stand at par with their contemporaries anywhere in the world. We should appreciate our own and celebrate ourselves. I realize in this US, by privilege again, consultant to Southern University here in the US, they have accounting laboratory, but they don't have a single accounting software on those systems. I asked them question, what happened? They said all the crop of lecturers they have currently, none of them have idea about software in accounting. It means students graduate from Southern in the US, not Nigeria now. They graduate here without any knowledge of accounting software. We are bridging that gap for them. These are some of the things. And finally, see AXA Mansa. This is the dashboard. I'm going to share my own dashboard for you to know it is real. Once you subscribe to investing your funds in AXA Mansard, they will create a dashboard that you will use to monitor your investment. I will share that. In conclusion, retirement planning is essential for a smooth leadership transition. Financial freedom requires early action, discipline, saving, and thoughtful planning. So begin the journey to financial independence today by implementing these strategies. And I say here also, the glory of retirement is giving yourself the time to do what you love. Giving yourself the time to do what you love. A quick one. Let me share the dashboard. The dashboard of this is the dashboard. Okay. This is AXA Mansa. They are also into insurance. See something here: health, investment, insurance, partnership. They're into all these. Let me do something. Sign in. Sign in. I have both personal investment, then our consulting firm. Let me share that of our consulting firm so that you see how this thing works. It is real. Sign in. All right. I think there is a technical issue here. Let me go ahead. Once it come up, I'm going to show us. But here you'll be able to view what is your current principal, what is your interest, and so on. I'll go back and take the questions and discussion. So what steps have you taken towards achieving financial freedom in retirement? Please open discussion, then share your experiences, challenges, and insights. Thank you for your attention. We have suggestions for further reading. Then we have upcoming training conferences and webinar. One in Singapore, another one in Paris. Then this one is for Federal University of Technology, another center as we have also in your university this February is on statistical method for research. Then we have one. This is free attendance webinar, staying grounded, emotional intelligence and financial management in uncertain times. Thank you for your attention. Let's take question and comment while I try to pull out the.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Professor Adebayo, for that wonderful and thought-provoking lecture that you gave us. I don't know whether you're hearing me.
Very well, loud
Professor
and clear, sir. Loud and clear, sir.
So we open. Thank you. We open the floor now for questions and comments since you're online. After which we take other comments for the presenters who presented earlier, Dr. Ferens and Dr. Sampson. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Retirement is an issue that all of us are faced with.
Yeah, Prof, can you hear us, folks?
Loud and
Can you
clear.
hear us? Can you hear
Loud
me?
and clear. Yes.
Okay.
All of us are already on the countdown. Even this morning, I had an exchange with the vice chancellor. I keep reminding him that I will retire and leave him in the university. And he keeps telling me that I will not leave at the same time. Even if I leave some months before you have left. So it's something that's engaging us. But from your own experience, it looks like all your retirement or post-retirement plans were all in your area of expertise. Also, the streams that you talked about seem to be all in your area. Is it always like that?
All right. It's taking, the question is taking. Do we want to more question or I react to this?
Yeah. The next question.
Yes.
Yeah, Prof.
Next question, or you want me to respond to this first?
You take the questions first, then you respond to them.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for the question. I'm interested in financial freedom and precisely in investment. I would like to know the minimum amount of money that we require to start investment with ASA. So that's what I want to know, the minimum money you can invest and the details of how you will begin to earn so that I will be financially independent even before retirement.
I love that man.
Yes. Microphone here.
Thank you. The lecturer, my name is Isaac Asembe. My question is directed to you in the area of business environment. You know, most of the experiences you've been giving the American background. But why this question is coming to you is the fact that you have also lived and did some work in Nigeria. The environment is not the same. Nigeria is different. America is different. Now, when you look at the area of financial investment, our capital market, I don't know really, its performance now, because you discover that, you know, it's always on the sliding side. At most cases, you find a situation whereby people are moving their monies into certain areas at the particular time that those companies are trying to declare their profits. Yeah. Immediately after that, you discover that nothing much is happening again. And now, when you now consider the areas that one is even supposed to prepare for investment or for retirement, the road is not just very smooth. Yeah. We have been having our contributory pension scheme of late. You discover that many a times the monies are not even where they are supposed to have been. That is, in a way, you discover government trying to kind of use such monies in certain areas And after retirement, the workers will still have to wait for some good number of years before accessing their own retirement income. So the environment is different. Outside there, it could be rosy, but here it's not that very smooth. So with your background of having stayed and also invested in Nigeria and the US, do you have any advice that you can give would-be investors so that they maintain their financial freedom?
Yeah, thank you. So should we take the last? The dean of management science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question is on investment. You said, on savings. You said that the little salary we're collecting should sell part of it before consumption. And if you look at the inflation trends in Nigeria, if you sell 10 naira today, tomorrow that 10 naira will be less than 10 naira. So for this kind of inflation, you still encourage us to be selling rather than investing the part that we need for selling. Thank you, sir.
Professor Adebayo, you got him. Yeah, you got his question.
Yeah, I got it. Can I respond now?
Yeah, I think we have just one more. And the center leader will make a comment after you responded. Yes.
Thank you very much, Professor Adebayo.
Thank you, ma.
It's amazing all that you have said and very insightful. Mind-blowing to me. But there are some questions that bother my own mind when you talk about investments. I know that there was a time shares probably was one of the things that were really going on. And some of us invested, and eventually everything crashed. So it was so discouraging for me as an individual. Now, I also heard about the Treasury bill. I've heard of that before now, but I was a bit skeptical, to be sincere with you. Why? Because we're Nigerians, and anything can happen at any point in time. I don't know the counsel that you have for someone who has not been able to manage time, probably because you started early, and now some of us have not started early. What counsel do you have for such a person who actually has spent almost the total number of years and about to retire and does not have a financial breakthrough to start anything? You said we should reduce debts, but the debts are increasing because you have probably collected some money from trips to do something, and because of the environment that you are in, there's no positive thing coming into your hands. Everything seems to be crashing. So what do you really have for the person? And the person is already going. You had an opportunity, you were able to do that because you were younger and you had enough time. I can imagine someone who's already 70 and retired. What counsel do you have for that person? Although you have said it clearly that retirement is not the end of life, but the beginning of a legacy. So I will really prefer that you probably open our eyes more to things that we can do. Recently, because of my area of interest, I'm interested in post-harvest issues. And I had to go for an online training that I paid some amount of money for, over 21,000 naira, so that I can package and then export if possible. I really appreciate that if you can just expand on what can be. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Prof,
All right.
so you can hear us now.
Thank you very much. I can hear very well.
So
I can go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, I think let him react first. Yeah. Yeah, you can react to the questions asked so far.
All right. I will start from the last question. That with experience in shares and it crashed, and that one is discouraging us from further investing in other likely lucrative investment opportunities. I, as a person, right from the word go, I never believe in investment in shares and stock. Let me say shares. Reason is this: I do some calculation, and if you look at the slide, we are going to share this slide. Even this video, we'll still share it with us. I did mention that one of the strategies or action step, consultation. I'll tell you my own reason why I don't believe in investment in share. You know the nature of human being. Let me tell you, including myself. Our nature, we have been programmed in such a way that we want what we want, where we want it, how we want it, and when we want it. So if I invest 1 million, let me say 1 million naira in shares, I look at the financial statement of the company wherein I'm committing my money on their shares. I see what they declare as profits. They will now divide that profit by the total number of shares. Sometimes you will see 50 kobo. That's the dividend per share. For every one share, as little, you can say 50 kobo. Sometimes they say 1 naira. When I multiply this 50 kobo per share by the total number of shares I have in that company, and this thing will come in a year because it's yearly after preparing their financial statement. That one discouraged me that no, I better look for other alternative, lucrative investment opportunity that's going to fetch me my returns almost immediately. It's just unfortunate, but all things work together for good. I want to share with us the platform of AXA Mansard, but they sent me a message that they have technical issues. Yesterday, I did share that. Now, currently, okay, don't let me divert now. So that you are discouraged because of the crash experience in shares should not limit you from looking for alternatives. We've said something during the course of this presentation. Life itself is all about a risk. And from my own background, we are made to understand that the higher the risk, the higher the returns. They will even tell you the best form of defense is attack. Have you seen boxing in boxing ring? If somebody is all you are just doing is defend, I don't want trouble, I don't want trouble. The opponent will finish the person. So you have to launch out. Now, what are the other alternatives now that I'm recommending? Ladies and gentlemen, SARS and MAS, I'm talking now from just experience that this AXA Mansard number one, I'm not saying it's limited to only AXA Mansard. We have them all over. If you decide to go for other one, this is over 5 years that I've been investing in this particular organization or company. I have their agent, the contact of their agent, who just call me one day, Prof. I'm an agent to AXA Mansard. Why not? I'm aware you have this money from the Kaduna project. Why instead of just keeping this money in the bank, come and invest? And it was timely. For me to even tell this guy, thank you. You know, some people help you. You say thank you once, you forget. But some of us, each time I look at the benefit, each time I look at the benefits and the returns I'm getting from this investment in AXA Mansard, honestly, I'm not saying this to show off everything to the glory of God, but I need to share it with you. Anytime I have investment, I ask them to pay me interest upfront. And all the time I give this guy 1 million. The guy is even surprised that You have appreciated me doing my work because the AXA Mansa also pay me commission. Like as I'm talking to us now, we have a multi-purpose all project going on in this same our school in Buhari, Abuja. And what did I do? How do I finance? With the rising inflation, I had to just tell him, okay, I'm fixing at the maturity of the last investment, help me check another one we have. And he told me treasury bills is open, 26%. And that one, I just said, please go ahead. Fix about 70 million. Multiply 70 million naira by 26%. And I requested that I want that interest to be paid upfront. I can't wait till the end of till the maturity. And honestly, within 3 days, they've paid me that interest. That was the same interest now I'm using to finance the ongoing multipurpose hall. So if you have tried stock, just recently, still talking about investment in shares. Do you know, is it late last year, even Zenith Bank said they have shares. There is nothing my account officer did not do to convince me to invest in Zenith Bank shares. I did my own analysis and I discovered that sometime when they want to float their shares, they will change all manner of parameters to make it look attractive. I checked that. That as soon as people now invest their money, you would now see they reduce the market value of the shares. That's what accountants do. Accountants practice what they call window dressing. We call it window dressing. We call it cosmetic accounting. We call it makeup accounting. They polish their financial statement to make it look attractive so that investors will come and invest. I'm not discouraging us from investment in share. We still have some companies classified as blue chips companies that if you invest in the shares of those companies, even if in the short run you are not benefiting from the dividend to be paid as way of return, then there's what is called wealth maximization. The value of your shares will so increase that you can decide to liquidate your investment. Then you make both your principal and the interest. That's an alternative. So what are the other alternatives, even aside from AXA Mansard? I've mentioned also consultancy services, and it's not limited only to my area. It's not limited only to my area. See what you can do in your own area. In entrepreneurship, we talk of innovation and creativity. Innovation and creativity. And when it comes to the School of Wealth Management, you don't even need to start something new. You can see what others are doing. Somebody put it this way, that I can see farther than others because I'm sitting on the shoulders of those who have gone ahead of me. You just understudy those people in your own profession or your own discipline. What are they doing? You find a way you can do it better, especially in this era of digital revolution that people call digital Darwinism. If what they are doing in that's when you go to consulting now, they are doing manual, and you want to reach a larger crowd, go virtual, add virtual to your own. There are a lot of things to be done. Let me see if I've addressed that one. Also, be skeptical. So my advice to you is that take risk. It takes a lion heart to have a lion share. Take risk. Even in the midst of uncertainty, I've understudied the lives of 100 billionaires. We have a lot of billionaires, but I just understudied them. And one thing that's billionaires in the world. And one thing they all had in common was taking risk in period of uncertainty. Like in the United States, somebody said earlier, one of the people who asked question, because I'm in US, SARS and MAS, even in US here, we have inflation. Inflation is here. I drive about here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I reside. You see a lot of shop, a lot of offices on sale, for sale. They want to sell it. People even migrating, relocating different area. So this issue of inflation is global. It's not peculiar to Nigeria alone. It's global. And it is in this period of this uncertainty and inflation that people really take decision. Take the risk. That's my own advice. It's not part of our paper. It's not part of the paper I'm taking. But I can still share later with us if the coordinator will get it across. We have a lot of other investment opportunities, but eventually you feel you don't want to invest in AXA, Mansard, or any other. But what I know about our commercial banks in Nigeria, none of them pay as much as 26% or 22% for you to fix your money. Now, going back to question 4, the little salary, save before consumption. What I actually meant by you have a salary and the salary is meager, is not even sufficient. As much as you can, have a part of your salary that you will leave for raining day. We call it speculative motive, precautionary motive. I mentioned all those stuff. As much. But if you cannot save, like I also said earlier, they will say salary munde ganine. We are just hearing the salary is coming. Before it even come, it's already gone. This is when you now begin to look for alternative source of income. That's the diversification. That you don't limit yourself only to salaries. And by privilege again, I've said, no one God has created to be empty. Sometimes you don't know what you are capable of doing until you take step. Even if the laws of the land said, as a full-time employee of government, you are not permitted to do any other thing except agriculture. Try that agriculture, and if you don't have the capital to start the agriculture, start consulting. You can even register. You can even register a company. A company is a tool in your hand. Like we have students in our university, various universities. I share with people humorously. I'll say, don't look down on anyone because you don't know who they are. This experience I shared with us, over 1 billion contract in Kaduna State. How did I get to know about the contract? A student. So you first start something, do your complimentary card, do your flyer. They are way out. That's what I would say to that. But what I mean by saving is actually you save for investment, not that you just keep the money. Because the money you save today, put 500,000 naira in your account today. With the inflation, rising inflation, what your 500,000 will buy today, 500,000 will not buy it tomorrow. So in order to cushion the effect of inflation for the little you are able to save, invest it so that interests will accrue on that investment. Then I go to question 3. Capital market is on the sliding side. Nigerian environment different from US. Outside there, it may be rosy. It's not rosy here also as well. It's not. And I'm saying to us again, if there is even any best place for us to invest, it is Nigeria. All you just need to do is to do what we call analysis, make consultation. Where do I invest this money? Especially in those areas that is risk-free. And that's one thing with the commercial papers, that is treasury bills. It's risk-free. If you invest in our commercial banks, they may disappoint. I've seen people like that who fix their money, owe the principal interest, they can't get anything. But one of the classification or one of the nature of treasury bill is that it is risk-free because it's coming from the CBN. Then question 2, for the person who asks question on how much is the minimum to invest in AXA Mansard, as little, I think they start with 5 million. And if you look at our slide, let me check that slide again. There is also provision for, is it 1 to 3 million? I want to be sure I give you the correct.
Yeah.
5 million to 10 million. Yeah, 5 million. Like we also have someone with 3 million. Multiply 3 million. If you fix 3 million by 20, it's not less than 22%. Currently, that money market AXA pay 22%. And of course, if you fix like 5 million, you do 22%. At the maturity of the investment, if you don't have need for it, tell them they should reinvest both the principal and the interest. It will accumulate. Then the last question, area of expertise. It's not only my area of expertise I've really diversified into. A trained accountant, but share with us that by divine grace and election, we have White Knight Academy. That one is an educational institution. You may also look at other areas relevant. Everybody can decide to, but somebody will ask a question. How do I not get the bulk money? That is what should even bother us. And on this note, I will share what I'm doing currently again. That may be so relevant. If you have like 12 of you can come together, which I believe some of us already doing. 12 of you come together and in planning for retirement, you say, okay, I've diversified, I can be able to bring in 500,000. They call it, is it contribution? Like in the US here, we have somebody just yesterday who bought a car. With her salary, she cannot. When will she gather how many thousand to buy a car? So we gave her the advice. Join this group of people who contribute. How much? $500 monthly. And she pleaded that she would be the first person to collect the contribution. And when she collected, that should be $5,500. She sent me the pictures yesterday. She bought the ride already. Then she will be paying back little by little. If we have some of you here who can come together, like 12 of you, 1 million in a month, depending on how much you want to agree. As soon as you get your own, if you say 1 million, that will be 11 million because you are not paying as the person taking. You collect the contribution. Don't go and squander it. Go and fix that 10 million. If you fix it in an investment opportunity that is flexible, I've told us earlier that one key advantage about this AXA Mansard money market is that where necessity necessitate that I need part of what I've fixed for investment, they allow you to take the principal. Then the balance, you will earn interest on that. These are opportunities. In all ways, what I'm encouraging us today is that we should not give excuses. It is never too late to start planning. Don't give excuse so that we'll not be excused out of our destinies and our financial freedom. It's not too late. Oh. I have cases of people who even started investment at age 65 and today they are billionaires. So it's not late. Thank you again for your attention.
No problem. I think I'll send that email with the comment and then you'll close your own session. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Adejola Adebayo. This is Professor Lami Namonu.
Wow, I greet you, ma.
Thank you.
I've been looking
Thank you
forward to
so
seeing
much. Yes, yes. I sent you a message even this morning. Thank you so much for accepting to speak to our university yesterday and today. Above all, I want to thank you for the passion that you have to make life better. You are indeed walking your talk, you're building lives, you're building trees, the shade that and you don't plan or intend to sit under the shades of the trees you're building. I want to tell us something about Pastor Professor Adejola Adebayo. He doesn't know what I'm going to tell you, but I'll tell you all the same. For the 5 days that we engaged in him, I'm a fellow of the Institute, by the way, CIBE. If you see CIBE after my name, I'm a business entrepreneur, courtesy of Professor Adejola Adebayo. Now, for the 5 days we engaged with this pastor, this young pastor, Professor Adebayo, I noticed that we were taking tea breaks, we were taking lunch, and he was not joining us to eat. He was the host, but he was not eating. So I had to ask someone that works with him, one of his teammates, I'm like, why is Prof not eating with us? And I learned that he was fasting all through. He does not know that I knew. He was fasting. So you see, he's a man of God. Like yesterday, somebody asked him that, there is something that he was not telling us. I mean, those of us that were here, that he should tell us there's something he's not telling us. And that thing that he started with God, if you remember his presentation. That thing that he's not telling, is that if we are not listening well, we might not hear. Is that this is his building, his investment, his business. The foundation is Christ. And when that foundation, your foundation is Christ, you can never go wrong. So I want to thank you once again on behalf of the Vice Chancellor. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, man. God bless you. We return the glory to God. I remember this popular adage at UK. It is the backing of the extraordinary God that makes an ordinary man appear extraordinary. Love you. Thank you, man. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. So